guys, we are back, right? You guys already just saw the podcast that I was doing earlier with Dr. Cunningham. Go back and check out that full episode and things like that. We are back with the GGN tonight, right? And we are doing a panel discussion. We're going to be waiting for other people to jump in. If you would like to jump in on this conversation, please let me know. I would love to have you, right? If you're tuning in and you think that this is something that you want to talk about, this is going deep, right? This is going deep. The topic today of our panel discussion is how do you grieve someone that you wanted dead? You guys want to dive deep into that with me? Because I got my friend, my sister, I got my love over here. You know what I'm saying? Tawana, she's going to be coming on and jumping on with me. We're going to be starting off the conversation. If you want to jump in, please let me know. I'll send you the StreamYard link. Come on and jump on with me. If you guys have any questions or comments, please put them in the comment section. You guys already know how we do it. You know what I'm saying? If this is your first time tuning in, do me a favor. Get on over to the YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification. It's down there below. I ain't making it hard for you guys. Hit that bell notification, so you'll be notified every time that we drop a new episode. You guys know how we do it, right? And without further ado, I'm going to bring on my colleague, my sister, Tawana, the Black Butterfly Goddess. How you doing, my friend? How you doing, my sister?
I'm always good when I'm here with you.
Oh, man. See, you making me blush. You already know. You already making me blush. I'm done with your stuff already. So, and we're going to have some more people jumping in today as well. Hopefully as we go along, right? But today is a part two of a topic that we discussed a couple of years ago when I first started the GGN. And we jumped on and we started talking about this. How do you grieve someone you wanted dead? Now, before we get into the topic, let's get into what that means for you. But hold on. Before we even do that, introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tawana Yvette, also known as Black Butterfly Goddess. I am a fourth generation intuitive healer, psychic medium, spiritual guide, and published author.
Yes. You published your book.
Yes.
Did you have a copy of it? But then you got to bring it up here. Can nobody see that around all your little titles while you're over there pointing to the back like you the Fonz or something? All right. Put that up to the camera so people can see what it is. And where can people find your book?
You can find this. It's an anthology on inspiredlivingpublishing.com or on Amazon. And it's called Divine Synchronicity. It's 22 very courageous women's stories, including mine.
I love that. That's a picture perfect moment right there. If I can screenshot that, I would be like, here you go, right? You know what I'm saying? That's the perfect screenshot. Now, you know what I'm saying? Back to the topic at hand. What does this topic today mean to you?
Ooh, when we talked about doing this, I had to really think because there was one person who popped into my head so quickly, it was ridiculous. And it means that not only did you have to heal that part of you that was grieving, but you also have to heal that part of you because we shouldn't allow anyone so much control over us that we want them to expire. They shouldn't have that kind of control. So it's like double grief, if you will.
Okay. I can definitely dig that. I mean some brisket.
Oh, it's all look and enjoy some from me, brother.
I've been trying to. I got myself a little platter today because I was hungry. First time in a long time I've been this hungry, so I'm just like taking advantage of it.
Yes.
I got the coleslaw, I got the potato salad, I got some barbecue, I got the hot links, I got the.
Oh, you got all the good stuff over there.
I'm a growing kid. Don't judge me. Don't judge me, okay? I'm telling you right now, don't judge me.
No judgment.
But it was. I started thinking more in depth, right? Um, it can be considered a double grieving, or it can, depending on the situation and the individual, it can be very singular as well, right? Um, and so coming from a place, and you already know this, so help me out with this as we go along. And I'm going to hand this over to you. I was S8 when I was 6 years old. Didn't understand that until I figured out that, hey, I didn't like it, and I was going to protect myself, and I did. And I learned it took away my innocence. It took away everything that I ever thought, and it set me along a path of very deep, embedded, dark habits, if you will, of understanding the world from a place not of innocence, but of extreme survival.
Yes.
Right? And as I began to grow and things like that, that sense of survival aided me in so many different ways. But I never really, after a period of time, I just stopped thinking about where it started and started looking at everything that was compounded upon that. Right? And I can blame the people that I knew for trying to get me killed and things like that. And there are some people in my life that was in my life. They are no longer there because I removed them. That I grieved long before they were dead. I hand this over to you. I want to get your thoughts on this.
It's interesting because even though, we've talked about it before, I was S8 and impregnated by my father. He's not the person that came to mind for me.
Exactly.
And I think because for men, that SA is a little different. Even though I went into protect mode, I'm still a woman. You know what I mean? So I still let people in, if you will. Whereas I've noticed even some of the men that have been clients of mine won't. Once that happens, it's like a gate going down. And then they go into strongman mode. So even with the deep betrayal of having to terminate my father's child or whatever it was, and I'm not gonna lie, I put bleach and ammonia under his bed one night.
Not better than me.
I got caught.
I do like. These clean them? Okay. I would have had that needle and pumped it right up in them.
If I had known, but that was my 10-year-old self. That was after, that was after being laughed at by my guidance counselor, my teacher, 5th grade teacher. The person who betrayed me even deeper, if you can ever imagine, was my ex.
Okay. Okay.
And it was when he said to me, maybe your father wanted to use 7 days a week, but I don't. As I begged him to love me, and he stepped over me as if I were dog poop on the street. That's who I wanted to expire.
Okay. Can I ask you a question?
Ask what it. Come on now,
Uh,
you know I'm an open book.
I'm already knowing now. I'm doing this because I want the audience to understand that, you know what I'm saying, I will always be respectful of your boundaries
Absolutely.
and everything else. You know, I never want to cross that or anything like that, or feel like as if I'm being disrespectful towards you. You
Nope.
already know this,
Nope.
right? Um the term trauma bonding
Mm-hmm.
is what comes to mind.
Oh, I was big time trauma bonded.
Right, right,
Big
right, right,
time.
right. So, and you
Big
know,
time.
and I say that to say this because I've had, look, Tawana, look, as a man myself, I'm not an ugly man. I'm a very attractive man to certain people and things like that, right? I have conversation that will blow your mind. Um, I've had to set boundaries with people once I
Mhm.
understood my gift.
Yeah.
Once I understood my gift and realized the profoundness of its essence, right, out into the world. This is what changed the whole dating scene for me. This is what changed everything for me. When I realized that through conversation, that these individuals was not here for me,
Mm-mm.
they were here for my gift. So I had to set boundaries. And although they may not understand, because in their mind they were like, you know, I'm really connecting with you on this different level and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They may not understand, but I understood.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it was a matter of respect, right? And I listen to what they say, which goes into the topic that we're talking about today.
Mm-hmm.
They often talked about their abusers or abuser, depending on who you're talking with, and things like that. And I listen to the aggression that they've had towards those individuals or individual,
Mm-hmm.
and I just go, you have every right to feel the way that you feel in your own personal journey. How have you redirected that feeling towards someone, and turned it into something to help mold you, not other people? Because I
Mm-hmm.
know you're a psychic medium, and I don't need you reading it to me, okay, right now. All right. But I want to redirect this into you,
Mm-hmm.
and your own personal journey of emotions.
First I had to realize I was trauma bonded, and I had to learn what
Mm,
that was. Then I had to accept that I was trauma bonded after learning what it was. And I literally sat outside, and I really had to, I did a lot of scripting, which is subconscious writing, a lot of meditation, a lot of different alternative holistic healing modalities, spiritual healing modalities.
mhm.
And I had to come to grips with. Ultimately, number one, I made the decision to allow him into my life. So that was on me. And number two, it is not for me to hate anyone. My gift is to make sure people are loved. So that's how I alchemized it and turned it into my superpower.
Okay.
Because in me building what I have over the last 2 years, the greatest revenge is me sitting on TikTok with people saying how much they love me and knowing his sister is TikTok's lead attorney.
You know, um, I love that because I've been on your TikToks before. And I always will be up there. You already know we up there, we clowning, we having fun, we
In the
listen
middle of the
to
night.
music. But now this is where I go, sis, let's go deeper,
Mm-hmm.
right? Let's go into the depth of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you and I both know, and I'm not calling nobody out. I'm not even putting you on blast. The depth of that hurt.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
was gut
exactly.
wrenching. It
Exactly.
was it was this. Have you ever seen? There's like a cartoon where somebody walks around with a hole in the middle of them, and you can see straight
Yeah,
through them.
yeah,
That's the way I felt.
yeah. That's why
That's
I
the
said
way
the
I
depth
felt.
of that hurt, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I loved how eloquently you put it together when you were describing it. But there's individuals out there right now that are listening and things like that that don't understand what it took for you to get to where you are.
I screamed into pillows. I sat in the shower
That's what I'm
night
talking about.
after night after. I'm serious. Night after night after night with the shower running like this, with not a soul that I could depend on living.
Mm. And think about this, right? Coming from a man's perspective, being who I am today versus who I was, yesterday, and the 20-year-old version of me, the 30-year-old version of me,
Mm-hmm.
questioning my manhood,
Yeah.
questioning everything about this reality. Am I gay?
Yeah.
Am I, what the hell am I?
Yeah.
That people like these individuals will feel so freely to try to do something like this, you know what I'm saying, and then force me into a place to where I would have to do something to them.
Yes.
Am I this? Because I chose to protect myself and not to let others take advantage of me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's from that 6-year-old version of me where that dude was like, hey, I got He-Mans.
Mm-hmm.
I got G.I. Joes, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you come up in my bedroom?
Mm-hmm.
I got more toys up here. And remembering that aspect of it and things like that, yeah, I did question myself for quite some time. And I didn't like the answers that I was coming up with. And I chose to be a fighter,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes more than um, because of the things that I had seen. I've seen children being molested. I've seen women being raped. And I went, I'm going to become the worst possible version of myself
Mm-hmm.
for them. And these people walking around today, I see them. And I would tell you this. I don't wish any of the stuff that they have done on other people on anyone. And I do grieve them. But I also feel the world would be better off without them.
I would have to agree.
And I say that on live stream to everyone to listen. Please, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you guys probably feel that way as well about a
Mhm.
lot of people. You just don't want to come out and say it. But
Right.
there are some people in this world that just deserve to be killed.
I
And I'm
agree.
sorry, you know what I'm saying? But because I see the damage that they do to our children. And it's men like myself that have to come and repair the damage that they've done to you.
Hmm.
And you guys don't give us the chance. That's why I've stepped back. I haven't pursued because hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
And
That's why I'm single now.
exactly, you know what I'm saying? And so I hand this over to you. I want to get your thoughts on it. Dive deep into this thing tomorrow. Dive deep into it. I got
It, you gonna eat your brisket?
I'm gonna eat one day. I got a little mixture of everything. I got some coleslaw, some potato salad. I got some full turkey. I got some hot links up in
Man,
there.
stop making me hungry. It's too
You
late
know
on
what?
the East
You
Coast
go
to
ahead
be.
and do your thing and stop paying attention to me, okay? How about that?
No, I would have to agree with you because when I think back to what he said and what he did, and I think back to some of the things that he said about his exes, and I think back to his ex-wife who's non-functioning, who if she has a hangnail, she can't take care of her son. And who it took me to get out of the trauma bonded state to realize that he did that to her too. And he did it to other women. And so, this fourth grade teacher who works with our children, as you said, and has a child, is running around further traumatizing women. He was the first person I shared the pregnancy with, the first person that I ever disclosed that my father impregnated me. The first person. And he took it around and took that knife and just twisted it. I can forget the emotions that are attached to that sentence I spoke a few minutes ago that he said, but I can't ever forget that sentence. And it is sad. It is sad that in this phase of life, I turned out a multimillionaire in June. No, I don't want to date you. A multimillionaire.
I remember.
No, you're not good enough. And it's not because I'm still broken. It's not because I'm still trauma bonded. It's not because I still love him, but it's because my value has gone up.
Hmm. You and I talked about that before. And
Hmm.
Mama got on both our cases. Right?
Look, leave her where she had over
No,
here, okay?
no.
Leave her over there.
She was doing. She knew exactly what she was doing. She knew that she was going to be a part of this conversation today. All right. I know that because she came to me and was like, you already know. I'm like, look, all right, you go back and tell Tawana like I'm over her stuff already. All right. You just tell her I'm over her stuff already. You know this, right? Um, the biggest part about it, Tawana, is, and I told you this, and I never tell you anything. I mentioned this.
Mm-hmm.
You and I both put the connection together that the problem is that we didn't feel worthy
No.
of what we have of value to the world, which is the reason why we still struggle in our everyday life.
Yes.
And I told you I decided that I was going to let it go. I've been on this journey of letting go ever since then.
Mm-hmm.
My unconscious mind has taken over. It has guided me in places that I never thought was imaginable.
Mm-hmm.
Connections that I have with the different variations of the world, the galaxy, the universe, the infinite knowledge and wisdom that I so seek.
Mm-hmm.
The connection, communication has far exceeded anything that I could ever imagine in my own mind, which in turn, as they say, in the video game era, I've leveled up,
Right.
right? And every time I level up, like Mortal Kombat fatality, like there's a part of me, the mortality that dissipates
Yes.
and allows the other level to take over. My goal is my thought is on this different level that we're talking about right now, grieving someone that you wanted dead. How often do you grieve that person, and how many levels do you grieve that individual? And I realize the levels are infinite
They are.
because at in the beginning it's a small factor, but as you begin to grow and to begin to level up, you
Mm-hmm.
begin to understand that the weight of the nail that it carries
Yes.
is infinite.
Yes.
The key to it, and I'm slowly starting to understand it and to implement it, is to dissolve the nail, to let go of it. In order to truly heal that space
Mm-hmm.
and to allow the millions upon billions of thoughts, emotions, and reactions, as well as uh, uh, um, um, connections
Mm-hmm.
to come within as a whole. You've heard me write this in your comments, and I'm slowly but surely starting to understand. But I'm understanding nonetheless, we are all one.
Yes.
I am you.
Mm-hmm.
You are me. We are they. They are us.
Yes.
We're all one of the same flower.
Mm-hmm.
And that flower is life and love.
Yes.
And if we can embrace the love, that means I can connect with you on a level that far surpass anything that I could ever imagine.
Yes.
I want to get your thoughts on that, you know what I'm saying? But related to what we're talking about.
If we relate it to what we're talking about, he was a mirror of me.
Mm,
He was me. I was him. And Mama used that experience to teach me that I was him. And to empty me of the muck and the mire that I had accumulated from the time I was 15.
Okay. Okay.
So, yes, when I look back, yes, I do know he was a mirror of me. I do know that. I accept it. And she used it to get all that nastiness out of me. Um, Not only just the feelings of self-loathing or self-hatred, but the ungratefulness, the person who expected so much from so many.
Mm,
Now, don't get me wrong, I gave a lot. I will never take that away from myself. I know what I gave.
right.
But the person who traumatized my children, me, she used that experience.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yes, you know I own that. She
You know,
used that experience to show me who I didn't want to become
right.
because I wasn't but 2 steps behind him
Mm, that's
from being
deep.
hurt so much.
That's deep, right? Um, because man, you just brought something to my attention. Everything, because I have two daughters,
Hmm.
right, which are grown now. Um, I've never had anything to do with their lives. So some people might call me a deadbeat dad, and that's fine. I'm okay with that, right? Because they don't understand the life that I've lived, and I'm okay with that as well. My life wasn't for the weak of heart, as I
Hmm.
would say. My daughters may not understand that, although they know who I am. I don't expect them to reach out to me to ask me any questions. I expect them to have the hatred in their heart that they do have for me,
Hmm.
for the feeling of abandonment, like they was not enough.
Hmm.
I say this now that they were always enough, but my life was no place for them. I've had to make hard decisions. I paid for those decisions, those choices that I've made. And maybe one day I'll be forgiven for them. And if not, well, the fight will continue,
Hmm.
whether if it's in this life or the next. Doesn't change anything.
Hmm.
For those men out there that have misused my daughters and things like that, I get it. As men, nowhere ever talks about the mistreatment that we go through.
No.
We can often capitalize on the things that women go through, um, young ladies, things like that. Now, there is a difference between a young lady and a grown woman,
Hmm.
but there's a difference between a young man and a grown man and the traumas that we carry with us as well.
Hmm.
And the relationship that we carry with you, that just because it happened to you, that didn't mean that it didn't happen to me.
Right.
We just learn how to not say anything to suppress everything that we're going through. And in turn, there comes a deep embedded fire
Hmm.
of hatred that is born that bleeds out into other people. Now, how do you grieve someone that you wanted dead? Let's dive deep into that part of it. How do you grieve someone that you wanted dead? Mm. Anybody in the audience, you know what I'm saying? You guys got any questions or comments that you want to elaborate on that? How do you grieve someone that you wanted there?
It's not an easy process. Um, Again, I personally have an advantage, and that advantage, as you know, are the 18 people that everybody can't see in this room.
Mm-hmm.
And without them, I wouldn't have been here today. And not even at my own hand, but my body would have given out from the sheer grief that I went through. Um, to have realized that even though I've been married twice and I had a child with another man, he was the only man I ever loved and was in love with. That grief was deep. Um, there were a lot of 8 Mile walk days. There were a lot of days where my sister would see me just leave the house at 4 a.m. and I would walk until 11 or 12 and come back just soaked. I'm talking 90, 100-degree days because that energy had to go somewhere or I was going to combust. Um, a lot of 8 Mile walk days, a lot of sitting outside at night, a lot of crying, a lot of screaming, a lot of journaling. But I tested myself the last time I was in Atlanta. I said, here, let's throw yourself a test. Can you walk into the restaurant that you two went to every week? Can you walk in there and can you drive past his house without crying? I walked in the restaurant. I talked to the waitress. We took pictures together. I drove past his house. I drove past the spot that I laid when I tried to take my life. And I smiled. That's how I knew the grief was over. Because even after being within a quarter mile of where his body probably was, I could smile again, finally. A lot of time, for 2 years, my smile was fake. I was the master of the fake smile. I was a master at that, where I could, and nobody knew that I was screaming inside. This man shouldn't even be allowed to breathe air for what he's done. I'll never forget when they put me in the back of the ambulance to transport me to the psych hospital. His cadence was proud. He had a little proud little pep in his cadence. I so many nights questioned the divine. How do you allow a beast like that to live?
Mm.
He was my father without the SA part of it. He was the mental part of it.
Right.
Because as you said, I am you and you are me. Each man I ran into was a different version, a different piece of my father.
Exactly. No. Different piece of you.
That too.
Right. So if we take that philosophy of understanding how we are all divinely connected,
Mm-hmm.
the question that you had posed, how can someone like this walk around? I'm sure there's a multitude of people out there that are asking the same question. How can you allow an individual such as this to walk around? And I would say to them, because they are necessary,
They are. They're teachers.
right? But a lot of people may not understand that. I know I did, right? When I was molested and things like that, no one protected me. No one came to me and said that everything was going to be okay. No one came and said, hey, you don't have to worry about this anymore. Instead, life said, hey, um, you're going to have to deal with this.
Nothing happened. Keep going.
No, no, it wasn't that anything happened. I recognized that there was something that it had happened.
No, I'm saying that's what life says. It's
Right.
almost as if it's like nothing happened. Keep going.
No, no, that and see that's what I'm saying. For most people, it may have said that, and some
Mhm.
people it may have said that, right? But for me, it didn't say that. When I eventually figured out what was going on, life said, "Hey, I don't know if you remember or not, but this had happened to you,"
Ah,
and it took me back to that place to where I was a grown man standing over top of my 6 year old body after all of this and looking at the tears and the brokenness in this young man in this young child picking up his GI Joes and his He-Man as he began to put on his clothes, as he began to wipe the tears off his face because this guy over top of him told him, wipe your face, don't tell nobody, I'll see you tomorrow, it's all gonna be okay. And when I went to go and tell the people that I thought was going to protect me, my father, my mother, my uncles, aunties, my bigger cousins. They told me, boy, stop lying. That don't happen to young men. You need to learn how to protect your sister. I knew. I knew then just as well as I know now. No one was going to believe me. But you know what? Here's the beautiful part about it. It taught me to be very, very devious and learn how to survive. And that's when I understood the rules of war, the art of war, the art of 3D chess, not from what you see on the table, but from the people that you're around.
hmm
I know who were the pawns. I knew who were the soldiers and who the king was. And I knew who the queen was. My main goal was I have to protect me.
Mhm.
So if that meant I had to sacrifice you, I would do it and not blink an eye because no one cared about me.
Mhm.
That individual who did it, what many, many years, when my daughter was about 2 years old, I went back home. I took my daughter with me, my youngest daughter. My mother was there. My mother had me there. She goes, baby, tell me, did that bastard touch you? Tawana, I looked at her in her face and lied to her. I looked her dead in her face. I said, Mama, no, he did not. Sad part about it was my mom knew. She broke down and started crying. I said, wait, I said, Mama, what you crying for? She goes, nothing. It's okay. I realized what she was crying for because I hesitated when I said it. But the hatred, the pure, unadulterated hatred that I had for that individual. When I went back home, I searched for him. My mom knew, but she didn't want to say anything. I was going to get him, Taiwan. I wanted to. I was going to get him to no end for the damage that he had done to me, the person that he had changed me into. I blamed everything I did on him till I realized it was part of who I was. But I was going to get him. And I was going to do to him a million times worse than what he had done to me. And all those other young boys out there that he had done it to. I was going to make a mockery of him. I was. I had become very courageous and very devious, very malicious in what I was going to do. And I grieved him because I knew his mom. I grew up with her. She was Miss Gwen. She was the person that we can go to when snow and stuff came and we didn't have a whole lot of food. She was our next door neighbor. Go there and get a can of green beans from her. Go get a couple slices of that government cheese. Yeah, yeah, you already know. Go get a couple slices of that bologna.
Best
You know what I'm
macaroni and
saying?
cheese on the
Yeah,
planet.
you already know. You know what I'm saying? She was her, right? And Miss Gwen was like, baby, bring your kids on over. I'll watch them for you.
Mm-mm.
Because she had no idea what her son was up there doing. He used it to her advantage. I had never in my life wanted someone so bad to be dead. And I grieved because I thought about how Miss Gwen would react to it. And to be honest with you, I think that's what kept me from killing him myself. on many occasions when I knew he was doing it. And I could have stopped it, but I was just a young dude.
Mm-hmm.
I was such a young guy. What am I supposed to do?
Right.
But man, I tell you, Tawana, with a little pocket knife and some ingenuity, oh, you can make some things happen. I can make me a bow and arrow now.
MacGyver.
You know, make some
MacGyver.
crossbows and things like that. Because you remember back in the day, we used to have those 16 penny nails. That
Mm-hmm.
was about yay big, right? We used to make
Mm-hmm.
those long straws,
Yep.
right? And we used to make, look, people think I be bullshit jiving when I tell them this. I'm like, dude, y'all don't understand. We made bow and arrows out of the long straw.
With the Kool-Aid straws.
The Kool-Aid straws with a 16 penny nail. And then we used to get the pigeon feathers and put them in the back of them. Right? Come on, Tawana. You already know. And we put them on.
And you did the noise.
Yes, I did. Come on, girl.
I already know, man. I already know. You took me back. I had a flashback on that one. You took me back to New York City.
Look, girl, look. We wasn't holding nothing back.
No.
We wasn't holding nothing back. But, I grieved him not because of him. I grieved him because of Miss Gwen, my mom's best friend. And as I got older, I turned really, really cold because I didn't think anybody cared about me.
I didn't either.
And here's a more personable one. I grieved myself um, in the darkness because I didn't want to be here neither. I wanted to be. I didn't want this. I didn't want anything to do with this world. It had taken so much away from me. Innocence, children, friends. And this is before my parents even were gone.
Mm-hmm.
It took me away from this world. I didn't know where I belonged. I actually grieved me because I wanted me dead for so long because I became something different.
I feel that.
I still grieve me.
I understand that. I tell people on, as you've been on my TikToks at night before, where I tell people you have to grieve the person. You have to grieve the version of the life that you thought you were supposed to be living
Mm-hmm.
now. So I had to grieve the fact that I lost everything and everyone. And it was because of him.
Right.
I lost a successful business in Atlanta. I lost myself. The first we were talking on a class that I was teaching yesterday about codependency. And a couple of the ladies and I were talking about how we were so trauma bonded and codependent that my first couple of nights in my apartment, I I didn't know what to watch on TV because it wasn't the kid's choice and it wasn't his choice. So I don't even know what I like to watch. I had to grieve who I thought I was
Mm.
and who I had to grieve that I thought that At 49 3/4, I'd on a Sunday night, we'd be all sitting down eating dinner together, and all my kids and my grandkids would be there. And no, Lotus is here on my foot faithfully. But, but that's it. Not that she's not enough, but it's not the version of the life that I thought I would be living. And it's not the version of the person that I thought would be living this life.
Mm-hmm.
I had to grieve that I'm a psychic. I had to grieve that I too will probably remain single and celibate for the rest of my life because I'm a karmic.
You know, it's. I understand that, and I'm going to respect that. I'm not going to take nothing away from that, right? And again, when I speak, I'm speaking from a place of singularity.
Mm-hmm.
Of when I say this, so I don't speak for no one else. I have understood. You and I have talked about this. I have understood that I am the seasonal one.
Yeah.
I am not your forever. I am not your first choice. I understand that. I understand that I am equipped to move amongst this earth, traveling in and out of everyone's lives that I encounter, never to be attached,
Mm-hmm.
but also never to be loved, at least not in the physical sense. And I have to be okay with that. So I do grieve that aspect of it, right?
Yes.
I I mourn the feeling of laying on the couch with someone and just holding them as we're watching a movie.
Yes.
I grieve the feeling of getting into a dispute and making up.
Yes.
I grieve the touch of the man that I could be if I had someone that brought that out of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's women out there that feel the same.
You're talking to one of
You know
them.
what I'm saying? And you know, here's one thing. Here's one thing, and I mentioned it before. When I realized I miss slow dancing with the person that I'm supposed to be with. A good slow dance in the kitchen while you're trying to cook dinner and all of
Mm-hmm.
those different things, and they walk up behind you and just to grab you while that Marvin Gaye is going on. Hey,
I don't know what that's like.
you
I
know what
don't.
I'm saying?
I've never had that, so I
That's
don't.
what I mean. That's what I mean. Like I grieve that aspect of it because I did have it at once upon a time, and I know what it
Mm-hmm.
feels like, right? And when you told me that, I was like, man, that is a damn shame that you women don't know what it's like to have a genuine slow dance. I'm talking about. I'm talking about. You got some. You got some Teddy Pendergrass going on. You got maybe some Marvin Gaye. You got maybe some Barry White. You got maybe,
You
you
hear all
know,
the stuff I play all night.
come
That's
on,
why you
I'm
said
already
it.
knowing. I'm
That's why
already
you said
knowing.
it.
I'm already knowing. That's why I'm putting it up there like that,
That's
like
why
that. You
you
know what I'm
said
saying?
it.
And I'm telling you because this is what I grew up on, right? But I grieved the man that I could be because no one ever gave me a reason of why I should be.
Mm.
And so the loneliness that set inside of my heart is no blame for anyone else,
Mm-mm.
right? But it's my pound of flesh to bear. Now,
It's
I
not
may
easy.
grieve it and things like that, but I wish it for everyone else that I come in contact with. Because as I said before, and I say it now, I'm the seasonal one.
Yeah.
It's not for me. And I have to be okay with that.
I'm coming to terms with it.
Yeah, you're too beautiful to come to terms with that.
Nah,
You're
I'm coming to
way
terms
too
with
you're way
because
too beautiful to be coming to
bro,
terms with that.
bro,
Look,
you have
look,
seen me.
look.
You have seen me
I
on
know you be cussing
TikTok
people out too.
where I say, until a man can do this, that's my feminine energy where I just sit back and oh, pack. Oh, where are we going? Until a man can accept that this is who I am and I'm not changing it for anybody and I am a bright light in this world and I'm only getting brighter and brighter and I
I
take up
told
a
you.
lot of energy and a lot of space.
Every time we speak, I told you, and I mentioned it before. Every time we speak, and every time I see you, you're just glowing.
It's that
You're
Olay lotion I
no,
told
no,
you
no,
on
no.
TikTok.
That's your energy, right? If people, I don't want to sound too weird when I say this. I see people's energy. I don't see people's flesh.
Mhm.
I don't see the world as buildings, but as this 3D blueprint that's consistently moving and adding and subtracting things and things like that. So, to for me, the world is a consistent realm of changing numbers,
Mhm.
right? Um, Solutions are a basic mathematical equation. Creation is paint by number,
Mhm.
right? And everything else amplifies everything else. So if you was to get with someone and I could see the amplification of your numbers rise, sometimes they become balanced, sometimes they do not. But I've made a vow in this life never to interfere with someone else's life.
Mhm.
Although this is the gift that I've been given.
Mhm.
But it's as if the world says, or the universe source, God says, I'm going to show you this, but you can't tell anyone. The curse is that I have to watch you play it out based upon your choices.
I can definitely resonate with that because
Mhm.
I come into people's lives when there's a crossroad and they don't realize they're at a crossroad. And I've only come to realize this in the last 3 months. I'm that person you meet when the divine is saying, all right, you can go this way or you can go this way. but I'm gonna put this person in your life, and let's see if you hear what she's saying. And a lot of times it hurts because I know the decision they're going to make before they make it.
Yeah, but you know that the crazy part about it is, Tawana, no one ever believes us.
They don't. They don't.
No one ever believes us.
They
You
don't.
know, I'm like,
When you're sitting there going, look, just heal. I got you. I got your
I
hand.
got
Just
you on this.
come on. Let's just get this done
They're
here.
like, oh
And
no,
they're
that's
still
not
like,
gonna happen. And you're looking at them
exactly.
going like this, like you don't understand. I've played this scenario out 150
Come
ways.
on. I
And
already had
if
the
you make
dream.
this decision, it can go this way. But if you make this decision and this decision,
It's
this
gonna go
decision,
right.
this
Right.
is where it's going to get you. You only have one shot at this, homie.
It's
And if you make the same decisions, then it's going to take you a while to find out that this was the one that you should have made. And as hard as it may be at this moment, I promise you, through all the heartache that you feel, it's going to be okay.
mm-hmm.
I learned that through myself, Tawana, after I had grieved who I was, right? Because during the process, and it took me a long time to figure this part out as well, but depending on how you look at time. Um, After my mom passed away, um, I realized I didn't have anyone else to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
That I was an orphan in the world, and the sense of betrayal and abandonment that I had learned throughout my years of living had set in, and then the sense of being cursed. And that's when I used to shake my fist at God and go,
Yeah.
you want this? I got you. You want to fight? Come on, let's fight. You know, but no more.
Yeah.
You don't get to take no more of mine unless I get to take something of yours. And then that transition, I realized that I had hurt God more than he can ever hurt me. Because I was willing to take away from him the thing that he wanted most from me, my love and my faith. And I'm not talking about the God that people talk about.
I know. I know.
Things like that. I'm going a little bit deeper about the original God, not the gods.
Right.
Okay?
The
not the
original
ones
source.
who have come beyond under them, right? So the ones that y'all talk about in the Bible, look, I'm not going to discriminate against nobody. I'm just saying, do your own research. Okay? Do what you need to do, and make yourself a good person. This is for entertainment purposes only, and I'm speaking hypothetically. Okay? Allegedly, there were several gods that may or may not have been called the Anunnaki.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Possibly. Mm-hmm.
Possibly. Now, there is another God under them or above them. That is the one I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Hypothetically. And allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So now I want to make sure that everybody understands that aspect of it and things like that, so I'm not offended anyone. You know, but I'm talking to that dude right there, that person,
the original
entity,
the
original OG, out there game banging and stuff like that on the world. Talking to that individual. I ain't talking to the Lilith. I ain't talking to Yahweh. I ain't talking about the Gilgamesh. I ain't talking about Sodom or Gomorrah or Enki. I ain't talking about none of them. Okay? None of them.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I'm talking to one above them. All right? That's the one I'm talking to. Get yourself together. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. That's the one I'm talking about. Look, they better stop. They better stop all that stuff. You know, I ain't making nobody mad at all. I'm like, look, allegedly, okay?
Allegedly, right?
Yeah, you know.
Supposedly.
Let's get your thoughts on some things, Tawana. Let's get your thoughts on some things before we close this thing out tonight. No, we ain't on you. Look.
I'm like, you talking about let's get your thought. No, I mean, I
over there looking all pretty and carrying on. Get your thoughts on
funny
something.
thing is, yeah, I had a disagreement with one of the gods, the one of the allegedly's in the Bible, and yeah, we had a fight the night that I was admitted into the hospital, and I had been detoxing cold for 3 days. And as you know, I have titanium sitting on my sciatic nerve.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, this is it. This is the last chance. Please just give me 20 minutes of sleep. I beg of you. 20 minutes of relief. I just need 20 minutes of relief. And allegedly, when the lights went on at 7 a.m. on the unit, allegedly, I said, F this. There's something bigger. Because if you can't grant me 20 minutes of sleep after I was impregnated by my father, then that book I've been carrying around in my purse and in the car and in a backpack and everywhere with me and dragging my children out of their beds every Sunday morning to read, allegedly, was worth toilet paper. And so then I went on to do my own research while the ancestors had me sitting outside in 24-degree weather. My sister has like a 20 by 20 enclosed lanai.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd wake up at midnight and go sit out there all night. Heated blanket or a heating pad under my Canada Goose.
Understood. Definitely understood that.
Just reading. What was taken out. Reading.
Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. You said something that I think a lot of people miss.
And that's when I said it's okay to be me. It's okay. It's safe for me to be me. Because I was always afraid of my power.
You know?
I always knew I was powerful. Even as a child, I knew I was my mother used to tell me a story. She called it devil eyes. And whether you believe this or not, she said I would stare at something. And if I stared at it long enough, it would move. And she was like, stop doing that devil eye stuff. If I stared at a piece of paper or something light, it would move.
I got a question.
What's that?
Because you're absolutely right. I think you and I are connected in a lot deeper way. I think we are children of something different. I do. And the reason being, because my grandmother Ever since I was a kid, I was always creative. I've never seen things the way that people ever seen things, uh,
Mm-hmm.
especially from a very early age, right? Since you could put a pencil in my hand and I was able to distinguish between stick figures and actual people, I
Mm-hmm.
began to draw actual people. Right. By the time I was 6 years old, I was drawing portraits of the teachers in my school.
Mm.
People could never understand, right? But I was self-taught. It just made sense to me. But it's as if I could even now, right? Even now, I look at the things and I see what is and what could be, but not in the way that most people see it.
Mm-mm.
Like I got a couple computer screens around here and things like that. But for me, it's like watching the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
Everything makes sense. Everything is in its place,
Mm-hmm.
like the digital aspect and things
Mm-hmm.
like that. That's why I keep looking around because that's what makes sense to me,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, and even in my office and things like that, I have teddy bears and things like that. But all I see is numbers. I see the colors of the numbers, and it makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
See everything else, the dimensions of everything that I have around on my walls and things like that, from the black and whites down to the teddy bears and things like that. But everything makes sense. I don't, I guess I grieve the life that people that I thought I should have, right? But also understanding that the life that I should have is dead and it's opened up the doors for the life of possibility, of prosperity, of abundance,
Yes.
peace,
Yes.
and ultimately love.
Yes.
But again, these are just my thoughts.
I
Elaborate a little bit. Tell me what your thoughts would be. And then we'll start to wrap this thing up. We've been going an hour and some change right now. And my food is over here. I'm just like, over here. I'm like over here secretly drooling because I have ribs over here. I got some hump
you
meat
just you
over
just keep
here.
bragging. You
I
just keep
got I got
bragging,
some
bro.
brisket right. Look, I got some brisket
The
right here.
ancestors took meat from me last year, and you just keep bragging about all this delicious stuff that
Nah.
he puts it in his mouth.
Why you over there talking? Sorry, I'm so sorry. I
You
love
stop
you.
that. You stop that. We don't use the S word, remember? I don't
But I couldn't
see
help it.
I don't
This
see
is the look on
numbers.
your face, like you son of a bitch.
I'm sorry, baby. Look, Lotus is all scared under here. She's like, why is mama banging on the table?
I'm so sorry.
Look, Lotus's nerves are bad today. She met X the cane course, so
Oh,
her nerves are shot.
oh shit. Sorry, Lois. I'm sorry. I'm
Her
sorry.
nerves are shot.
Uncle Tony,
No, I
Uncle Tony made a boo boo.
you hear Uncle Tony.
Oh,
No, I don't I don't see the numbers, but I see through everything.
right,
So, you know how we talk about my neighborhood, for example. I see the energy of it.
right,
I don't see buildings and people. I see the energy. I see the grays and the blacks that are here and that are walking around disguised as people.
really.
Um, I see the grays and the blacks that are disguised as red brick buildings. Even the air is black. But over by my sister's house, three miles away, it's beautiful and bright and white. So I see energy. Which is similar. I mean, if you're seeing numbers, you're seeing energy. So
right. I do see the energy,
but I see more of the colors of the energy of whatever's there. So I'm looking through and looking at. I guess I'm seeing the same thing you're seeing, just minus the numbers, because I'm seeing the colors.
The numbers are part of it, right? But that's also how far I've taken my mind to actually calculate and things like that, because everything is geometry, right? Nothing is not without a sequence of things. So once you understand the numerical sequence of things, you can understand the path that it must take for the path of least resistance. Once that path of resistance is introduced, the numbers change in order to calculate and form a new path of resistance. As I said before, and I'll say it again, we are all one of the same. There's no difference between, you and I or anyone else in that matter. Now, when it comes down to energy, this is where I say, this is why I'm surrounded by other people, because all I see is the red. I don't see what most people see, but I find those who do not have the best intentions, not only for myself, but for other people. So the energy that I encounter is normally that of very dangerous, violent individuals.
And I see them as black. Very dangerous
and
violent.
You see them as black. I see them as bright red.
Yeah, I
right?
see them.
I don't see all the other colors though. And that right there reminds me, that's why I am opening to connecting with other individuals like myself to help guide me, but also my role as a protector from those who carried that aura. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I'm looking for the right words, but the right guidance to be able to articulate those things. But simply put, I know why I am here in its entirety. I know why everyone else is here as well, but then their entirety, even if they do not see it. I could tell you some things right now from what I see with you, but I think you already know.
It's not time.
But just no, it is time. Your mom already told you that. Your mama already told you that. And you can't keep complaining
Keep
about
mama out of this.
No, because you know what? She's the one who came to me and was like, hey, just remind her. And I'm going to remind you right now as we're speaking, in order to get out of the place that you are, you first have to open up your abundance chakra. Stop blocking it and stop asking for it, and realize that you are worthy of it and it is yours. So therefore, let go of the chains that you so-called choose to hold on to, and because you're not a victim.
No, I'm not. I'm
right.
not.
Then stop. Then okay. Then what's your problem?
You got me.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get you. Mama got you.
Got me.
she like she just refused.
I'm used to her. I'm used to this.
I know. Like, tell her.
See,
Don't
this
come
stuff,
home with me.
this stuff don't bother me because I'm used to this now.
But you
When
don't
people
listen.
come to me and read me and are like,
you know what
"Mom,
your
it's
problem
like
is?
this."
You know what your problem is, Tawana? You don't listen. You're hard-headed. Oh, no. You're
I tell
hard-headed.
people that on my TikTok all the time that I'm hard-headed.
That's what you are. That's what you are. You're hard-headed.
Yes.
You won't be listening.
You're right.
All right. I told her. Now,
You
go
want to
back
tell
over
her
there.
to
You
come
go
home
back
now?
over there and don't be coming over here. You go back over there and tell her, okay?
I told you,
Move
Mama makes
stuff
house
around,
calls.
shimmer some lights and let her know about this conversation that we have. Don't you start with me. Don't you start with me. I'm over your stuff already. And like I told Tawana, I'm over your stuff already.
I told you, Mama makes house calls.
I'm done with your mama.
Why?
I'm done with your mama. She coming all the way over here to harass me because of you.
Look.
Because you don't listen to nobody. And she's like, she'll listen to you. She ain't gonna listen to me.
Yes, I will. I got called out in front of millions. You think I'm not gonna listen? Come on. I'm that show me person. I'm the show me state.
You need to go back over there. Okay.
You throwing my mama out.
I'm throwing her out already. She don't need to be in my office. She don't need to be in my office. She over here talking to my child and everything else. Go back over there before you influence them to do something.
And look, did you see the wait? You missed it. You missed the light get brighter.
I told you. What I tell you? You thought I was playing that shit?
No, I don't. I'm laughing because I already know. I know when she's here and when she's not.
See, Mama, look, check this out. Dim the light. You dim the light so I can talk to you, and I know that you're there and everything. It's all bright in the background and Karen. There you go. Thank you. Thank you.
And see, Mama, I'm glad this happened here because people would not believe the things that go on in my house.
And did you not just see the light dim?
Yes. Do you think I don't notice that kind
of
stuff?
Look, I ain't even talking to you no more, Tawana. Mama, look, I love you. Okay. I'm glad that you came and visited with me. I'm glad that you had the chance to rock my son on your leg and carrying on and things like that. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but it's time for you. It's time for you, okay, to put Tawana in her place. I heard you. I don't know if you noticed this or not, but Tony has heard you and has opened up my areas of abundance. All right? I don't need you coming up here harassing me. I'm over your... Don't you begin bright on me no more. No, you did not. Okay, I heard you, and I love you. I respect you. Now, with that being said, Tawana, I'm over your stuff already. I'm over your stuff already. Because Mama ain't having none of mine. She over there arguing with me and carrying on. I ain't got time for all that. Got that man over there all bright and carrying on and this, that, and another.
Look, that's why I be doing this on TikTok when it's happening. Because I'm like, that's why I make sure y'all see me shuffling. You can always see my hands. Because when stuff starts happening in the background, people wouldn't believe it if they didn't see my hands or nowhere near these things.
And I got my friend Erin B over here. She just joined us in over here off of Instagram. I wish she would have joined in earlier. I would have enjoyed to have you on today and everything. We're about to wrap this thing up. But I love her. She's another amazing person. If you ever get the chance to get to meet her, her name is Yoga with Erin B. And she's on Instagram right now. She's another amazing person that I have to get her scheduled in for next year because I know she's busy with retreats and everything else. But she's an amazing person, and it seems like as if the world is always conspiring to try to keep us from having the conversation like we normally do on podcasts and things like that. And I'm letting you know, my friend, my love, we're definitely going to make it happen, even if it has to be next year. We're going to make it happen. And to let you know that you're always in my thoughts. Thank you for your for your thoughts and your prayers and things like that, and for everyone.
I just followed her.
For everyone out there. Yeah, go back and follow Black Butterfly Goddess. This is my sister. This is my friend. This is my love, Tawana Evat. Make sure you follow her. She just followed you, Aaron, and everything. Collaborate with her, man. She has a lot of amazing things going on. She does a lot of TikToks, things like that. The more you know, the better that life becomes, right? You know what I'm saying? We're all in this grief field together. And if anything, if I can't do anything, I can definitely bring us all together if I can. But it takes a collaborative effort, right? You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, look, the light finally dimmed down. Thank you, Mama. All right. Yeah, y'all don't understand. I've been talking with Tawana's mama. She came over here and was harassing me because of Tawana. And then I finally had to tell Tawana. And then she went over there and made sure. See, all of this over in the background, y'all can go back and look in the later recording. You couldn't see none of that. Now she finally calmed her little self down after she done worked up on talking about she gonna cook some beans and carrying on and all those different things like she know how to do. All right, you know what I'm saying? And now she's back over. All right, I had to be like, look, y'all gonna start spoiling my son. Y'all gonna have to start spoiling him because y'all know he likes to sit on your lap and rock. He likes to hold on to you and listen to those stories and carry them.
I love that.
Yeah, y'all need to stop over that because that's the way I was raised, and he's raised the same way, and he's still with me because that's my road dog. Okay, that's my road dog. Now, and with that being said, you guys. This is going to conclude this segment of the GGN discussion of how do you grieve someone that you wanted dead. I was looking for more people to come in and things like that. But I'm actually really glad you guys just saved it off in the background. And you guys are probably laughing your butts off and things like that. But we went in depth on this conversation. We went in depth on this conversation. I want to thank my guest, Taiwana, for being up here today. As always, she's always been on several of the shows and things like that. So you guys will see much more of that. Follow her on TikTok as well, right? You know what I'm saying? She'll be doing lives over there, be in their comments, just getting jiggy with. You gotta come and check it out.
Gonna marry me.
Yeah, I'll be in there from time to time, you know what I'm saying, to give her a hard time and this, that, and other. Get yourself a live reading as well. And with that being said, you guys already know I'm going to give you guys some updates and everything. So the resilience group will be started coming back next Saturday, this up and coming Saturday. And it's free for any man out there struggling. If you're in the 11 Fort Collins area, you're looking for support, men, come on in. It's free to attend. It's free to be a part of. I got some pamphlets for you guys to help with the guidance as we go through this 8 to 12 week series of understanding and navigating grief. Right. Also, be on the lookout. We will be doing another segment on how grief workers deal with loss. Right. And things like that. That's thinking about one thing, and we're going to do a 6-week series on that. We're concluding the ancestral healing series. We're doing segments 7 and 8 coming up this next following Saturday, so be sure to tune in to that as well. We're going to go out with a bang. We got other few other things coming along with that. We do have next month's segment of the magazine that is coming out, volume 3. I am surprised we have lasted this long. Please, people, support us so we can keep bringing these things to you guys, right? The first one I gave away for free, the numbers were through the roof. The second one, not so much. Just like everything that we do, this money goes back into this nonprofit, guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm not profiting off of anything. I use that money to help get counseling and everything for the people that we serve. I put it back into my nonprofit. I work overnights, right? So that's one of my biggest secrets that I don't tell anyone. I don't depend on anyone for anything. I work overnights from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, doing security work. So when I get up in the mornings, you guys see me 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. I get off at 5 o'clock. I don't sleep. I get out here and I give it right back to you guys. The magazine is just one of those things. I want to showcase. I want to bring you resources. I want to bring you events. I want to keep you up to date. I bring you articles to help you navigate this world of Grieve, right? Because this is what I'm called to do. Even if you don't want to support me, I appreciate you. You know, we offer subscriptions. Tawana, she got a subscription, got a month-to-month subscription. We got a 6-month subscription. We got a 12-month subscription. We made it easy for you guys. You know, we do have a privacy policy, so I don't share none of your information as well. No, I don't do that. We want to make sure that you guys keep getting the information, keep getting resources, keep knowing what to look for, and we put it all in one general area to help you understand. If you guys have anything that you would like us to discuss, I have individuals who have written articles to help you. Right? The magazine is for us, by us, for you. You know, and this magazine is based around grief, trauma, and mental health. First magazine ever out there like this. Help me to keep it going, please. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can really ask. Help us to keep it going and things like that. I don't mind sacrificing my sleep for you guys, but I will tell you this: I'm getting tired. I ain't gonna be able to do it forever now. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you guys can do to help be able to continue this and things like that is greatly appreciated. For those who are tuning in on Instagram and Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Twitch, and things like that, do me a favor, head on over to that YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you'll be notified every time that we drop a new episode. This helps us get the numbers out there. This helps us get it out there to the people that need to have it the most. But most importantly, you know what I'm saying, leave a comment, share it with other people that you think they can benefit from the conversations that we have. You know, we have a lot of things going on. It costs to be able to do these things, you know. The only thing I can ask is that you support us in that effort to be able to keep bringing this content to you guys. I don't want your money, but it only takes a couple seconds to subscribe. That's all I ask. That's all I ask, right? And sit back and enjoy the conversations that we have. Engage with us, things like that. Also, we have the Global Grief Conference, as always, from the Global Grief Network, a community of grief workers, trauma-informed coaches, and mental health practitioners that have come together for the sole purpose of serving you, right? We're here for you. So anything that you need, reach out to me. I will connect you with those individuals who are here to serve you, to make sure that you have the support that you not only need, but the support that you deserve as well. We will continue bringing these panel discussions with you, to you guys, right? Because we're saying the quiet part out loud. Remember, grief is a shared experience. Oh, back to it before I even get into that part. The Global Grief Conference, the 25th, April 25th, 26th, and the 27th of 2025. Be sure to tune in from 7 o'clock to, 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, right? We got a lot of things going on. We got live music, we got live comedy, we got live podcasts, we got webinars, we got workshops, we got all kinds of stuff for people, right? You know what I'm saying? We're bringing more resources to you guys, books, etc., and things like that. We got children's animations that is being done right now. So you guys, we got some good things going. To those who have been following the Global Grief Conference for the first 2 years. And looking forward to having this one. We're doing bigger and better things coming up this year. We got a lot more people that are going to be joining in with us. It's going to be amazing. Look forward to seeing you guys there. You guys already know. You can watch it either, in multitude of places from Twitter, Twitch, Kick, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, a few other places as well. I don't really know all the different places, but we're working on them. Okay, I'll get them out there too. And with that being said, you guys help me thank my friend, my love, my sister, Taiwana Evat, the Black Butterfly Goddess, for being on this panel discussion today, right? And the topic that we was diving into, guys. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. Thank you for everything that you guys have given back to us, so we can give back to you. Go follow Tawana. We're gonna have more information and go get a book too. Shoot, go get a book. Right, Tawana, put up your book again.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Let me get it.
Oh, divine synchronicity.
Oh, Mama lit up.
See, she already knows. I ain't even talking to you right now. She already knows. She got all excited. She knew. She know. Mama know. Mama, I got you. Divine synchronicity. We go get your book. You guys, this is going to conclude this episode. Guys going to see you next week, right? But also throughout the week as well, right? You know what I'm saying? We're going to be making some things happen. And, as always, just keep remembering that grief is a shared experience. And no matter what you're going through, there's somebody going through it with you. So be sure to make sure that you guys are open to connection and community when it comes down to this thing. And with that being said, this is going to conclude this segment of the Grief Let's Talk About It podcast, family discussion from the GGN. We're going to see you guys in the next one. I love you. And you guys keep your head up. And just keep in mind, don't forget to say I love you to the people in your life, because tonight nor tomorrow is promised. So no matter what happens, make sure that you're leaving them better than what you found. All right? And vice versa. See you guys in the next one. Peace. Okay. I gotta get the cursor over here. This thing be doing its own thing.